The TA job in mining and mining maintenance. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and recently I got asked a question if I could talk about the trade assistance job and the requirements and all that sort of stuff. So I'll do it first from the mine site perspective, so the mining crews. So you don't normally have too many TAs around. Normally the workshop has one on each crew that help out, and sometimes they even get called servicemen. So their job is to assist the fitters with anything that they need to do, and often they do the servicing of the trucks and the equipment at the beginning and ends of each shift, or sometimes in the middle as well, depending on what site you're on. But I don't think that's the job, the TA job that you're asking about. I think the TA job that you're actually asking about is the maintenance one. And I just want to be clear here that there is a difference between getting a TA job as a shutdown worker and a TA job on a mine site. So when shutdown workers come to the mine, it's labelled in as maintenance. So you're not expecting a mining crew, you're expecting a shutdown crew. So it's really important to understand that if you're going to go down that road of getting a shutdown job as a TA, you're probably going to make $35 to $45 an hour at the moment. I know there's a lot of sites around that say that you can make $180,000 a year doing TA work and all that sort of stuff, and that used to be the case back in the day when all the oil and gas big refineries were being built. There were TAs making $200,000 a year because there just weren't enough people. But those days are long since gone, and now most companies have a steady flow of new starters through trying to jump from a TA job into a mining proper job, and that's your next challenge that you've got. There's lots of TA jobs, so if you write shutdown trade assistant in, and you'll see all the jobs come up. There's lots, but if you put mining TA in, there's not that many come up, because like I said, the mine sites, in the workshops on the surface, all the underground sites that I worked for, they never had more than one TA or serviceman per crew, and it was just fitters and sparkies and auto sparkies. Apart from that, they don't have a lot of jobs actually on the mine site proper. Where the jobs come into it is in the shutdown space. Now, like I said, that can be a bit of a double-edged sword with trying to make the jump from a trades assistance job into an actual mining job. And the reason for that is because back in the day when a lot of the big oil and gas projects closed down, a number of people took on TAs from that as underground truck drivers and all that sort of stuff. And to say it didn't work out was a bit of an understatement. And, it's perfectly understandable why, because they were being asked to go back onto probably a longer swing and probably working a bit harder for half the money as a truck driver. So if you've just been laid off on $180,000 a year as a TA and you've just tried to start a truck driver's job, and at that stage they were only paying on 2-in-1, it was only $320 a day or $350 a day. So they had quite significant turnover through there. So now there is a situation where not that you want to let them know that you've got shutdown work, but you don't want to be too upfront about it. You want to handle it in a certain sort of way where you're saying to them that you understand, you've been to a mine site before, but you've been to a mine site as a TA on a maintenance shutdown. So you still need to learn all the mining information to know how the mine works. And that's where people fall down, because they end up sending in resumes that say, I've got 5 years mine site experience, or I've got 3 years mine site experience, or I've got 2 years mine site experience. And when the foreman reads that at the top of the thing, and then he reads through the resume and finds out that all your experience is a TA on shutdown work, well, that's no good to them, because when they see 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, they're expecting experienced service crew worker, experienced bogger operator, experienced jumbo operator, if somebody's got more than 5 years experience, hopefully. And when they find out that you're going to have to be trained from scratch like everybody else, the resumes just go in the bin. My suggestion is, if you're in shutdown work at the moment and trying to get over to the other side of the industry, then check out this package, the win-win package, because it teaches you all the mining information that you're going to need to be able to impress them in the interview. And the win-win ladies, Jess and Alana, they'll be able to structure your resume so it'll just say the right thing and put it in the right way, that the employers are still going to look at you and want to look at you because you've invested in yourself and you can understand how their mind works. And they'll go through the interview prep with what they want to hear. But what you've basically got to say to them is, look, I know I've been to a mine site before as a shutdown worker. I've been to many mine sites before as a shutdown worker. I'm used to the lifestyle. I've used underground trainings, online courses to bring myself up to date with how the underground mine works. So I want a job as a truck driver, and I'm going to try and work my way up the ladder through there. And if you want to ask me some mining questions, that's more than fine. I'm happy to answer them for you. And that's the approach that I would take if you're currently a shutdown worker trying to jump the stream into a mining job. But like I said, it just depends on which side of the industry that you want to go into. Like I said, there's not that many TA jobs going on the mine proper. There might be a few more around the mill, but again, they don't, you sort of get stuck in those sort of jobs. There's not a lot of flow through into other jobs. Most of the time, the person that's pumping the grease is pumping the grease until they decide that they don't want that job anymore and they leave site. That's just the way it is. So I hope that information helps, and I hope I answered your question. There are a lot of shutdown jobs going at the moment with TAs. You can get work that way. But like I said, if you're trying to break into the mining industry proper and get a truck driving job or a nipper's job or an offsider's job, something like that, actually down the hole or in the pit, then going through the TA route might not necessarily lead you to the mining job that everybody's after. So I hope you found that information helpful. Good question. I'm happy I covered it. I hope I covered it all right for you. And if you've got any more questions, please send them in. And if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. Thanks.